All right, y'all. What's going on? What's going on? Welcome back to your favorite WMMA podcast. Hashtag CB99 Talks, episode 193. What's up, y'all? Yes, I am live back in the building. Feels like it's been a minute. Paul, what's up? He said, let's go. I know Paul, look, my bad. I know Paul was waiting for me to jump on last Sunday because he wanted to talk about some things. But hey, a lot of stuff going on. Marcus, what's up? That's my man Marcus, always in the building. Always in the building. And Aura, what's up? But yeah, I was gonna get on, but as y'all know, my man BJ, he was on there and on his show doing his thing and had to give him his space just to talk on that, on the whole situation, which I'll address here in a minute. But yeah, man, a lot going on. Not too much going on this weekend as far as women fights, but got a lot of good. I had a lot of good stuff. I had a lot of good stuff to watch this past couple of days. Thursday I watched LFA boxing. I know Paul, Marcus, y'all keep up with boxing. I wonder if y'all saw this Lauren Price, Natasha Jonas fight. Uh, Rodrigues and McManaman. Yeah. Whoa, man. Whew, man. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But Lemos, Lemos did her thing. Lemos did her thing, and Bia Mesquita, I want to talk about her. But yeah, man, shout out to everybody that always come through and just support my man BJ and everything. But look, like I said, I was going to get on the other day, but I'm gonna address this one time here, and this is it because this is what we do. Everybody's got their own opinions, everybody's got their own takes. But look, shout out to my man BJ. Um, when he got on and we did our show, which we still doing, we doing our show together, and he spoke his opinion on Macy Barber. That's something we've been going back and forth with forever. You know what I mean? Like that's something me and him been going back and forth with, even with people in the chat. Because I thought it all stemmed from what I said. I thought it all stemmed from what I said whenever I told him that Natalia Silva deserves the title shot over Macy Barber. And then he got at me. That's why I put him on. And I say, hey, what you got to say, man? You got that smoke for me, So anything he said was addressed to me. Look, shout out to everybody else, that do their thing. Addict, got your opinion, but if you take it however you take, okay, because maybe our opinion, maybe our takes on Natalia Silva are similar, but I know that anything BJ has said about Macy haters, he directing it to me. BJ be directing that thing to me because I've been going at him with it. Because I'm like, yo, Macy Barber is avoiding my girl Manon. She avoiding Manon. She avoiding Aaron. She want to fight Andrade. She fighting Lauren Murphy. So I've been giving it to him, And I know some of y'all in the chat been giving it to him for that. And that's how BJ do. BJ gonna be, controversial with it. That's why his name is No Filter MMA. And that's just what it is. Everybody got their take, like I said. But that's how it is. That's just how it is in the game. I mean, we talk to fighters. I talk to fighters, and everybody thinks they got the best skill set, but it's all proven on fight day. I'm talking about actual fighters I've talked to too. You might say your skills are better than another person. I'm all right. That's your take, right? That's just how it is. Okay. Everybody's supposed to be confident in what they believe and what they say, and I respect that. So, whenever we talking about Natalia Silva, we talking about Macy Barber. I know BJ, you addressing some of these dudes up in the chat that day because they was going at it. They was giving you some heat, and that's it, right? And like Paul said, he said, "I'll settle it for everybody. Macy ain't scared of anyone," and that's what I say, man. Look, I don't think any fighter is scared of anybody, but fighters are scared of their they scared of losing opportunities, Paul. That's all it is. Like in this world of fighting, everybody's ready to fight everybody. I think it just comes down to losing your opportunity and maybe losing your aura. That's what makes people second guess themselves when it comes to fighting. Like Barber, I stand on that. I still think Natalia Silva definitely deserves a title shot over her. And I think Macy got to work on some things, most definitely. And I think Macy Barber did lose to Miranda Maverick. I'm gonna keep saying that. That's been my running joke over here. you know. And that's why I said it's my running joke. It ain't no thing. It ain't no thing. And shout out to Coach. I know Coach, he did a video the other day. Coach, he did the video the other day addressing because we talked. And again, anything I say to him, same thing I'm saying here on the mic. It's just all it's all talk. It's all talk. We get on here, analyze, and we just break things down. And I'm not even addressing this other person's name that's just in the comment section. But there's somebody that keep trying to say I'm making people separate because I'm not a Whaley fan. Number one, I'm a Whaley fan. Number two, I'm a Suarez fan. Number three, I'm a fight fan. But actually, number three is my number one. I'm a fight fan first. And, if anybody is saying I blocked them because Whaley won the fight, you crazy. You know why I blocked you. I don't like crazy, nasty talk in my chat. And if you start talking some weird stuff, you know why you got blocked. So don't act like you got blocked for your opinion on a fighter. And if you want me to address what it was you said, I mean, I don't know if you want me to put that out there, but I don't tolerate, you making fun of, you know what you said, some weirdo stuff. So this person, he ain't never addressed that. So that's why you got blocked. That's all I got to say. When you take it to another level and you start calling people names, like some weird names, and calling people out their name, and you just in the chat calling, I'm a ban people like that. I ban people like that. So yeah, like you can call me name all day, like, oh, you a Suarez simp. Okay, that's fine. But if you over here, throwing weird names out like the P word, you accuse, or if that's what you do, if you're a P word, I'm not with that. So if you call somebody else the P word, and y'all know what P word I'm talking about, yeah, you better take that somewhere else, because that's where it all stemmed from. Just so people know, like, keep it respectable. I'm gonna come up with the combo unified rules of the chat here in a minute. Like number one in my chat is don't address other people. Don't address any other channels. All right, don't address any other channels in here. You will get blocked. Like if you come over here talking bad about Addict, if you come over here talking bad about Coach, if you come over here talking bad about BJ, you're gonna get blocked. That's the number one rule. And number two, you're gonna stay on topic. Keep all that other stuff out your mouth. Anything that ain't fight related, keep that to the side. You will get banned. That's it. And that's all I got to say on that. Easy, what's up? See, Easy saying what's going on. That's how, keep it like that, Easy. You always on topic. You always on point, Easy. Keep it just like that. He said he lost. Stay lost. As long as you in the fight game, that's all I care about. There's just been a lot of weird stuff going on, in this world of MMA. Just keep it just like that, Easy. That's all you need to know, because this the last time I'm gonna speak on it. But yeah, anybody that's a content creator, I got respect for them. They keep doing what they do. But yeah, outside of that, yeah. So anyways, let's talk about some real fights. Some people that are really taking hits. Some people that are really putting on the show for us, that get us talking. Real quick, I'll run through this fight. I know some of y'all ain't boxing fans, but I did watch this Lauren Price, Natasha Jonas fight. I didn't watch all of it because after a while it kind of became the same. Jonas, I do like Natasha Jonas, but I didn't. It was really hard for me to pick her in this fight. I knew that Lauren Price was going to come through. She's a little bit stronger now. She's young. She's bigger, stronger. You're dealing with a younger fighter now. Jonas is already in her 40s. I really couldn't give her a round. I just felt like she just got outboxed. Pretty much couldn't catch the timing, the speed. Good fight. Good showcase for Lauren Price. She's on the come up. She's now a unified champion. Seeing where she moves on from here, I know that at some point she's a welterweight. She's going to want to fight somebody like Katie Taylor. She's 9-0. I think she has a good chance. I know people think 9-0 isn't major, but in the boxing world, it is something. It is something. So Sky, man, don't be putting that word in here because it triggers the chat. So if I say the P word, you know what it is. So I gotta delete that. So don't be putting that word in there because it does something to the, they actually monitor these things. So when you do that, they put your videos under surveillance or whatever. So just I already said what it was, so you ain't got to type it out. Okay, so yeah, Lauren Price. I think this girl, she's going to be a force here. She's definitely going to be a force that's on the come up. Let's see, she's beat Natasha Jonas because first off, she beat Jessica McCaskill. That was her big win. I know that fight ended in like a technical decision, but yeah, she was putting that work in. She was putting that work in on Jessica McCaskill. So yeah, I think that this girl, she might be around for a little while. She's only 30 years old, young, hungry, strong. Yeah, she's kind of a big welterweight too. That's one thing I'll say about Lauren Price. So we'll see what's next for her. That was a good fight. What else did I watch? Yeah, this fight here, Paul. Want to hear my thoughts on this one? All right, Alicia Rodriguez. Whew. There's levels. There is levels to this. This is one reason I wouldn't want to be in Muay Thai. This fight right here was brutal. I mean, as MMA fans, y'all still need to watch these. Y'all need to watch these fights here sometimes. You still need to watch these because these are some entertaining fights on ONE FC. I know some people like just to watch the MMA fights or even the grappling matches, but you got to check these fights out, man. You got to watch these right here. All right. Alicia Rodriguez taking on Marie McManaman. I was going with Rodriguez. I kind of expected her to stop her maybe in like 2, but outside of that, the fight was brutal. McManaman, I thought she had a decent first round. I thought she was kind of finding her range with her kick. The first round was close, Paul. I thought it was close. I saw McManaman trying to use her range, throwing some nice push kicks out to the body and to the stomach. But Rodriguez started to come on strong. That jab, man. That jab and them combinations, she started cracking her with a good right hook, good right hand, and that left hook. And I think when she felt that power towards the end of the round, it kind of put her in a different world. Well, at the end of the first round, they seemed a little confident, but it was at the end of that second round after she ate like a series of body shots. And one of these left hands, like you see right here, man, this one, it kind of put her in a different world. That left eye started swelling up. She just started taking a beating in the second and third round, man. Yeah, these fights be brutal, man. The second and third round, this girl was getting beat down. Then going into, I thought they weren't going to answer the bell in the third, but shout out to McManaman. She came out in the fourth round. She came out in the fourth round and she started letting her hands go. She started letting her hands, Rodriguez started letting her hands go here. And she really started putting that beating on her, man. So after that fourth round, that was it. Yeah, you earn your paycheck with this easy. These fights here, I enjoy them. I know some people aren't really up on some of these Muay Thai fights, but yeah, I've been watching, Rodriguez for about 3 or 4 years now, and I enjoy her performance. I mean, when she fought, what was her name? Smila Sundell. That girl was too big for her, man. I ain't making excuses, but I just thought Rodriguez was too small for Smila. I thought she held her own for what she could do. But Smila is huge, man. She didn't have no business being in there with Smila Sundell. That girl is like 2 of her, So put her in there with girls her size, Rodriguez. She could fight Stan Fairtex. I believe she did beat Stan Fairtex, right? A little while back. It was maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah, she did beat Stan Fairtex. Close Muay Thai fight. I'm going to watch that again. But yeah, man. I like Rodriguez. I'm glad she came through with this victory. McManaman, yeah, she was taking a bad beat though, man. Bad beat. So they did right not to let her go out for the final round, in my opinion. All right, that was one of the fights I watched. Had to go back and finish streaming it. LFA 203. You know I'm on I'm on my bantamweight scout, man. I'm always looking for a new bantamweight out here myself. I'm always looking for another bantamweight. And Beatrice Mesquita. How many of y'all familiar with her? Like even from the jiu-jitsu background. Any of y'all been watching her? Let me know if any of y'all been watching this girl. Bia Mesquita. I always kind of think of her as like a Mackenzie Dern or a Jacqueline Amram because she's considered a legend. Yeah, Marcus, she considered a legend in just the whole world of AD was it ADCC. She's considered just a legend, and I've seen some of her grappling matches. I mean, she took out Misha Tate. I like to rub that one in. You know why I like to rub that in? She took out Misha Tate, armbar Misha Tate. I mean, she took Misha Tate back to Ronda Rousey days, man. She armbar Misha Tate. She was trying to put them flashbacks in her mind. All right, y'all. You know what I'm doing. Oh yeah. She choked out Jennifer Maia. Jennifer Maia tried to come over last year. I don't know if y'all seen that, man. Jennifer Maia, whenever she left the UFC, she came over and did some grappling tournaments, and she got choked out. I never seen Jennifer Maia get choked out before, and that's what's crazy. I know this is BJJ, but yeah, still, yeah, Bia Mesquita's a legend, man. Let me go back and look at her resume here. Yeah, she beat a lot of girls. Jenna Bishop. Oh wow, she lost to Juju though. She lost to Juju in overtime. I can't believe that. That's crazy. Like Juju, she beat Davies. Effion Davies, who beat Mackenzie Dern. So she's around the way, man. And I gotta say her stuff is entertaining too. It is entertaining. Like her jiu-jitsu style has been entertaining for me. I like how she brings it. But MMA is a different world. This fight here, I thought that I still saw some of the same holes in her game that, of course, she's got to work on. Sergio says she has that chin up in the air way too much. I was actually going to say Hope Chase had her chin up, but yeah, her chin is out there. I think number one, defense. Every jiu-jitsu practitioner that first comes over to MMA, that's the first thing they do wrong. They can't keep their head off. They can't take their head off the line. So striking is definitely going to be a thing that she has to work on, because a little while back, I watched this fight with this girl named Chanel Butler that she fought, and she about knocked her out. She had Bia hurt, but Bia, hey, she quick recovery time, came back real quick like a Dern would, and choked her out. So I think that's something you'll see her doing a lot of. But as the strikers get better, it's going to be tougher to get by some of these shots, because Bia Mesquita has been hit with some big punches. She has been hit with some big punches. She's been hit with some big punches in there. That's why I just keep picturing, like, if there's a better striker out there. Let me see. Melissa Croden, maybe at one point her and Melissa Croden, they might fight. I think Melissa Croden is a very big, strong woman, and has very sharp striking, heavy hands. That would be a good test for her. I think that Bia has power of her own. I could tell how she threw that right hand. Closer said, was she in the UFC? I don't remember her. No, she wasn't in the UFC. Close she wasn't in the UFC. She's looking to be in the UFC, if that's what you mean. Yeah, she's trying to get to the UFC. Still moving, still growing. She's only got 4 fights. She's 33, but she said her mission is to get to the UFC. But like we all know, well, I know the UFC sometimes signs fighters premature, but in my opinion, it's still going to be a long road. From what I'm seeing, like, she's got the finishing factor about her, but you got to look at the level of fighters. So I think B Mesquita just has to go hard the next 2 years, 3 years, even win the belt here at bantamweight before we can see her sign to the UFC. Marcus said I've been watching a little bit of BJJ, and a couple of girls do stand out as Effion Davies and Raquel. Yeah, there's a few girls. There's a few girls. What's the one girl's name? I think her last name is it Danielle Kelly. She's been around for a while. Like she's trying to. I believe she's going to transition to MMA. Danielle Kelly, I'm thinking of. Right now, I'd probably say like Mackenzie Dern. She's came in and did well. I think Aaron is doing pretty well from somebody from that background, and Fatima Klein. I think striking is the fundamentals of striking and just like basic footwork is how they really get into this sport of MMA and have success. Easy says some BJJ fighters be so desperate they would literally tackle the other fighter. Oh yeah. They get a little raw, man. Like that, they're so used to an opponent squaring off or being right there in front of them, and that's why I say footwork is so important for somebody coming in from the BJJ background. You got to get that thing. You got to get that down, man. Because oh, hold on. BJ said that's kind of wants to not be problem. You talking about she's kind of like Connor Watanabe. I wouldn't say she's like Connor Watanabe. I would still say like Connor's a little bit better because she does have the wrestling. But B is not. She's not bad. Like there's still some growth. There's still some growth before we talk about the UFC. Like I know she wants to get there because she's older, but we got to see some things from her. Axel said, I haven't watched the fight of Kana. What is her skills? Is she very good? I think her wrestling is good, but her lack of defense and her chin is kind of suspect. That's what kind of makes it hard for her to get over that edge, Liz Carmouche stopped her, 2 times? Alejandra Lara fought her to a close decision, right? Kana got the victory, but Kana, she just dips in sometime though. Like she'll dip in a little while too when she can't get you down. So yeah. Easy said the UFC has shifted its focus to making stars. They rush anyone who has a buzz now. The goal post really shifted. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. Like they signed this other young bantamweight who's only 19. Do y'all know her name? Like, can somebody throw her name out there for me? What is her name? The UFC just signed her. She's from Brazil. I have to study her, man, because it hit me. Like people ask me if I know who she is. I'm like, yo, like, who's this fighter they signed? 19-year-old girl. Like, I haven't even like seen her win like a major belt. Who is it? Have you talked about the 6-foot bantamweight the UFC just signed? What are your thoughts on her? Oh, that's the one you're talking about. Okay, that's the one you're talking about. The 19-year-old girl. It must have. I'm not trying to look. I don't know anything about her, but if she's 6 foot and 19, are they just signing her off of the appeal? Like, oh, we got the tallest, youngest fighter in the game. Like, how is she though? Because this really, y'all, this went under my nose, man. This over my head. This went over my head, man, because I don't think I've seen any of her fights. I need to know her name, man. What's her name, y'all? Like the 19-year-old bantamweight. Because I believe she called out Alice Pieta. Alice Pieta, that's her. Okay. Alice Pieta. Let's see here. 19-year-old Brazilian KO queen. Let me see here. Okay. This young lady here, 19 years old. I don't think she's related to She's not related to Alex though, right? Let's see. Alice Pieta is 6-0. Oh, she's about 5'10". Yeah, she's about 5. You know, when you said 6 foot, maybe you mean 6-0. Yeah, because she's only at 5'10". But yeah, that's a big bantamweight. All right, she's fought for Dubai Fights, Quality Combat. She's got 6 wins. Yeah, it's like you were saying, easy. Some of these fighters now, they're being just signed off of shock value. You know, they're signing them really quick. Yeah, that's probably what it is. They're signing these fighters really quick, and I don't. Okay, let's see. She has what? Four, 3 first round finishes, 4 first round finishes, and 1 second round stoppage. But it's not really a name. Like, she hasn't even fought for LFA. She hasn't fought for Invicta. She's only 19. She's calling out that one girl that just lost in the bantamweight division. I see. What's that one girl's name that just got a? She just got a loss too. Hold on. This bantamweight. What is this band? What is the bantamweight's name? She just fought. She's from Poland. Is it Claudia? There's so many, like, what is that girl's name? I can't remember her name, but yeah. Yeah, she's big. She's big, but we got to see the skills. I'm gonna try to watch some fights tonight, and I might do a video later talking about it, like what I've seen, because they were kind of bringing this up a lot. I believe like a couple months ago. I just forgot about it because I hadn't really seen any fights from her. Had I seen some fights, and I'd have been like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye on this girl. But I saw the UFC sign a 19. It says UFC signs a 19-year-old. And then I was like, okay. And I said, okay, I've never seen him before. You know, but we'll see. Yeah, Axel said she's bigger than me. Yeah, she's bigger than a lot of people, I think. Yeah. But yeah, we're going to keep an eye on this girl. Alice, not Alex, but Alice Pieta. And I'll kind of fill y'all in on what I see about her. Okay. Not a lot of women's fights this past weekend. Okay, y'all. My pick came through this time. I was so teetering here, man, because I was gonna look at Lucindo and think she could make it, but Amanda Lemos, yeah, Amanda Lemos. This fight came down to experience and skill, man. Yeah, Easy said Lemos is back. She's back in the win column. I don't know how back she is, but I'm glad she got a victory, man. I'm glad she got a victory. Because I was like, this is my farewell pick. I was like, this is my farewell pick for Lemos. If she lose, I'm not picking no more. I'm not picking her no more. But she did come through with this one. It wasn't anything amazing. Like, had maybe she like laid Lucindo out, I probably would have been like, yeah, there you go. Marcus said I changed my pick in the last minute, but Lemos still needs to work on some things. Yeah, she still needs to work. Like, I like the fact that she was throwing her jab a little bit more to the body, but she's still just not like a combination puncher. Like, she still won't throw combinations. Yeah, BJ said he picked Lucinda. Yeah, he did pick Lucinda. I remember. Yeah, she still won't throw She still won't throw like good combinations, man. I'm like, what's up? Like, it's not that hard, just throw a couple of jabs out, kind of blind Lucindo a little bit, and then boom, here comes the right hand. Easy said the fight was kind of boring, in my opinion. Yeah, it really wasn't entertaining. Like, I wasn't entertained. Like, I wasn't like wowed or anything. I didn't even watch it the same night because I was busy. That tells you how I felt about this pay-per-view. But I went back and watched this fight later on. I believe on Sunday morning. Yeah, I watched it Sunday morning. And I really wasn't like blown away. Like, yeah, back in the win column, but not back. Like, I didn't see anything different from Lemos. This is what Lemos does. This is her level of jiu-jitsu, right? It's not as good as Verna's, and her wrestling is not as good as Wei Lee's, but it's good enough to beat some of these girls like Lucindo and some of the, the greener girls. That's about it. That's about all. But yeah, Mark said the fight almost took him out. I was expecting there to be a little bit more striking exchanges here. I wanted to see a little bit more work from Lucindo's side too. I don't think she's working with Amanda anymore, is she? Because she needs to be working with Amanda Nunes. That was another reason why I didn't pick her here, because she got the victory the last time. And I know this MMA math doesn't work, but I still kind of had to base my pick with Lemos this time, because I felt like had maybe they gave her the L against Marina, that would have forced to make her better. But here, maybe she thought that, okay, since I beat Marina, I don't have to change as much. She probably felt like I didn't have to change as much. And, you didn't really see any changes in this fight. She didn't know how to get on the inside. Didn't really use her reach to her advantage. So, yeah, still green, still growing. It's all right. It's okay. She'll be back. I don't think that this is the end of her. Come on, man. She's in the top 10 now. She's in here now. So she's going to be forced to get better and forced to work. Oh, yeah, easy. I don't know, man. Okay, Mark said she is working. Priscilla's working with Amanda now. Priscilla Cachoeira? I know not. Zombie girl. Oh, yeah. Well, Priscilla needs it because she might be out the door. She probably know that she out the door. She lose this next fight. So she said, yo, I got to get Amanda. I got to get Amanda Nunes on the phone. But yeah, Lemos did what she had to do. I think Lemos is not going to get back in time for a title shot. And I say in time as far as her age. I think that her and Amanda, not her and Amanda, but her and Tatiana would be a good fight. I think I'd like to see Lemos and Suarez. Let's go back to that fight. Let's revisit that. As kind of a redemption win for Suarez, and maybe even, a step up for Lemos just to see where she stands now. Priscilla about to KO Jiao. Look, somebody better get knocked out. Okay, somebody better get knocked out. Paul said, how about Lucindo's corner? Did you go back and listen to that? Yeah, I did. And they were yelling, man. I knew she was beat. I knew she was beat when I saw her facial expression and how they were just throwing orders out. They was just like, yo, strike, box, kick, run, swim, jump, eat. They were just throwing actions out there, man. They were just throwing anything out there. And with that type of panic, I don't know if they were saying that just because maybe that's how she reacts to it. They just wanted her to react. But it didn't really sound like any of them had a game plan for Lemos' style, coming down the stretch. Maybe they expected her to have at least one good round in there, or maybe even have Amanda Lemos shuddering. But I just don't think they really had a game plan for Lucindo if she was going to be down. They were used to her winning like against Marina in the past and things like that, fights being close. But with her being so far down in this fight, yeah, they were panicking, man. They wanted her to do anything, and her best bet would have been to, just kind of, look to throw big shots for Lemos' head, because Lemos doesn't really move her head, and then go for a takedown, and kind of go off of that. But yeah, little bit of work on both sides needs to be done. I think Amanda Ebos versus Lucindo is a good fight. What about y'all? BJ said Priscilla's jab is snappy when she uses it. She busted Robertson up with it. Yeah, her eye poke strategy is snappy too. Lucindo, I'm just joking, man. I just saw a picture of I just saw a picture the other day of Cachoeira, putting her finger in was it Jillian's eye? Yeah, I think it was Jillian. That's why I kind of thought of that. Lucindo and Ibas. Lucindo and Fatima Klein. Who did Klein beat last? Dudakova, right? The thing is, I don't want to put Lucindo right there. I mean, I don't want to put Fatima Klein in there with the Sharks yet. Like Lucindo's like number 8. If Fatima Klein busts through there and get in at number 8, that's gonna be a rush job. She's gonna have to really get good overnight. I think Dudakova need to start at the bottom. Not Dudakova, Fatima Klein. Sorry. Fatima Klein versus Angela Hill. Yeah. Because she's still unranked. So let's start her off at number 13 or number 14. Yeah. Eventually that would be an interesting fight though. A good corner map. Yeah, a good corner maps out a plan and in 1 minute. Yeah. Because the corner's supposed to be watching their every move, their opponent. You gotta tell your fighter, hey, look at Lemos. I think Lemos is starting to drag. I think Lemos is exhausted. Like, I think Lemos is hurt here, so start targeting this, targeting that. Like, this is what we need to go ahead and get done. Got to have that plan for the last round when you down every single round, But I think that, Lucindo definitely has a chance to grow. This is her first loss, right? No, it's her second loss in the UFC. But it's the one where we really get to see, okay, what she needs to work on. A little bit of everything. Her setup, takedown setup, striking setup, staying on her kicks and kind of go from there. Mark said, I would say Fatima needs to win 1 or 2 more fights. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, get that fight with Angela Hill. Even get Demopoulos or somebody. Get winner of I believe Demopoulos is fighting. What's her name? The Alan Carr girl. Fight a couple more unranked fights. Yeah. I think the cornerman's adrenaline be out of this world because they miss a lot of stuff. Yeah, I think so too. That's why you gotta have that one cornerman, man, that just be locked in, tuned in, like he's playing a video game, watching. You got to tune the crowd out. You got to tune out the opponents, their corner as well. Don't worry about them. All of that. All right, but who do y'all want to see? I already told you I want to see. Like, who do y'all want to see Lemos and Lucindo fight next? I gave y'all mine. Who do y'all think? I know Closum did say he wanted to see Klein. Okay, so who do y'all want to see? Who do y'all want to see these girls fight next now? Let's see. Robot says Zombie Girl slows down. Nunes will still press with the action. All I know, somebody better get knocked out. That's my only answer to that fight tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. Saturday, 3 days from now. That's all I got to say. If nobody gets knocked out, cut both of them, and cut them both. All right. BJ said he want that Lemos Dern rematch. That might be a rematch Dern could win too. Maybe. Okay. Lucindo Angela Hill. Okay. Hill better be careful too, though, man. I was talking about that the other night. Hill better be careful. Hill's safe, but if Hill lose a couple more of them things, they might get rid of her. Okay, Lucindo Hill. Easy E said Lemos Yan. I'm trying to imagine that fight. Yeah, that'd be a good stand-up fight. That's a good stand-up fight. Lemos Jillian, yeah. If Jillian gets by If Jillian gets by Marina, yeah, that makes sense. That would be a step up for Jillian. If Jillian can beat Marina, then you fight the fighter that beat Marina, Lemos. That would be a good matchup. Lucindo versus Hill. That's a good one too. Sergio said Hill versus Lemos too. Oh yeah. I know Hill. Yeah, Angela Hill, she want that one back bad too, man. Angela Hill want that one back. BJ swear that Angela Hill knocked Lemos down. I ain't see that, man. I ain't see nothing. Lemos versus the loser of Jan Verna. Yeah, yeah. So that means that Lemos will be getting that rematch with Verna, or we get a good stand-up fight with Jan and Lemos. What do y'all think, though? Let me ask y'all this question. Do y'all think Wei Li vacates before she fights a Jan rematch? Robot said, I hope not. If Lee can go to a 6-fight losing streak, Hill should be good. Yeah, I think so. That's what I'm saying. Like if Angela Lee, what's her name? Andrea Lee. If Andrea Lee can rack up half a dozen losses and stick around. Oh yeah, yeah. Finally, she just got cut though. But still, 6 was a lot. 5 was a lot. Sir just said with her pillow fit. That's what I'm saying. She didn't knock her down, man. He said he'll drop Lemos. That's what Sergio said with her pillow fist. Whaley will vacate for a super fight. She's been wanting one. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Was Jan robbed against Whaley? No, she wasn't robbed against Whaley. She knocked Whaley down a few times, but she didn't put it together. Marcus said loses. Oh, Andrea Lee has a broken record in the women's division with those losses. Yeah, with those losses. Yeah. Paul said Whaley should fight the winner of Jan Vernon, no matter who it is, before she moves up. I agree. That's where I'm coming from with that. Like, because I think even if Jan wins, they could take that rematch to China, man. If they take it to China, you know what they could do? You know what they could do, right? If Jan wins, you know what they should do? They could do the first, what would be the first pay-per-view, first main event for women in China, right? It'd be the first women's main event in China. Because who else would be co-main event to them if they took it to China? You know, if you took it to China, Wei Li, Yan too. I know a lot of people wouldn't like that, but the Chinese people would like that. And I would like it as far as just like a main event for WMMA. When was the last main event for WMMA as a pay-per-view? Was it Amanda? Yes, Sergio. Andrea Lee has some good skills. She's had some good skills though. I just don't know. Like, she ain't even taken like a beating, you know, but I don't know what her downfall is. Like, I don't know if it's out the cage or what, but Easy said all Chinese fighters are jealous of Wei Li. I know Yan Xiaonan did say like they consider her a villain, and I'm like, why? Why? Because she got an American. See, she got some Americans on her team. But y'all should be cool with her too, man. Like she's Chinese too. Yan Xiaonan Chinese. Y'all, yep, but y'all gotta choose, right? You gotta go with whoever is popular. I like you can like anybody, man. You can like both of them if you want. You know, I ain't. But my point is, I ain't gonna diss Yan. Just like you know, like how fans be doing. I ain't gonna diss Yan Xiaonan. I ain't gonna diss Yan Xiaonan just to big up Wei Li. I mean, if I think Wei Li's gonna win, I'm gonna tell you the truth. But I ain't gonna downplay or I ain't gonna diss my friend or like a fighter I like, a fighter that's cool. You know. Mark said Natalia Silva put that beating on Lee. Yes, she did. And Josh said, "Hey, do you think Casey O'Neill is gonna be fighting again? Like, what is happening? I believe she's injured again. She is injured again because she did have some fight news, but yeah, she's injured. But yeah, that would be ideal, man. Get all them, put all of them on there. Put all of, put her up there. Put their fight. Put Wei Li and Yan as the main event in China. If Yan wins, that's what I like to see. Okay, so fight week is here. We got 3 WMMA fights, all unranked fights. Oh yeah, I might go live tomorrow for this. Depends, I got some stuff to do tomorrow. I'll be back by 8:00. But just so y'all know, Combate Global, I know me and Marcus were talking about this once. Marcus Bell, I know, watches Combate Global, and Combate Global is back. This is their first event in almost a year. Their last event was July 2024. I almost thought they were about to go. But thankfully, they're back. Thankfully, they're not on a channel I don't have. So I might go live for it. It's tomorrow. Oh, man, it's tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern time. I'm busy at that time, but I might get on about 8. I thought it was an 8:00 card. Hold on. Where's the fight card at? They only got the fight card posted. It's gonna be on it's on their YouTube channel. Yeah, it's on their YouTube channel here. Hold on. Yeah, man, I thought they were gone too because they had been they've been out the game since last summer. I'm glad to see they are back. Let's see here. Events. I don't even think they updated their website. Dang. They got like 1 million followers on Facebook, so I thought they had a pretty good, following there, pretty good support. Well, let me look at their Twitter. I don't have the Twitter. Let me see if I can pull it up though. Let's see. Man, whatever. I can't see it. The information ain't out there, right? Yeah. Yes, on YouTube they going backwards like Invicta here. I thought they would be on a channel at least, but I'll be on here. It's an all women's card too, just so you know. So yeah, I'll be on here probably watching it. Since I'll be watching it on YouTube, I might as well get on and I can hang out and just watch it. That way nobody up here can say, hey man, like, don't be cheap, give me a link to the fight. I'm like, hey, the link is free. Anyways, people be like, don't be cheap. I'll be like, hey, buy it yourself. People be calling me cheap when I don't give them the pay-per-view link. I'm like, shoot, if I buy a pay-per-view, I ain't giving it to you. I mean, I'm the one that bought it, so I'm not cheap. You cheap. You're the cheap one because you ain't buying. You trying to get it from me. I'm just saying. Yeah, here it is. Combate Female Evento on Vivo. And they don't have the card listed here, but I will post it. I will post it up later. If you want to save it, there it is for you. Sergio said, didn't Lemos win round 1 against Zhang Wei Li? I don't think she did she? Oh no, Easy said don't get in trouble. I ain't giving nobody nothing, man. Like shoot, they be asking me for that. You ain't getting it from me. He said it come. Yeah, no, man. I was like, no way, y'all. I ain't giving y'all nothing, man. He said, didn't Lemos win round 1? No, man, she didn't win no rounds. Yeah, I didn't buy the pay. Look, I didn't buy the pay-per-view. I didn't watch pay-per-view this weekend. I heard it was bad. I heard there was a lot of buffering, BJ. Yeah, I heard that thing was messed up. I heard a lot of people were sending in complaints to ESPN Plus. They were coming for him, man. So I ain't mess with it. Some told me not to because I was out anyway. I was out, family stuff, having fun. So I was like, I ain't touching. I ain't even going to, waste my money this time. It was a good thing I didn't because, yeah, it looked like people didn't get their service. Okay, y'all, here we go. UFC Fight Night 254. It kicks off for the women. Well, the card starts at 4 p.m. It kicks off with these young ladies. Eunice Dubin is taking on Carly Giudice. And this should be a good fight right here. This one should be entertaining. Y'all know both of these girls came from the Contender Series. Carly, she came in after fighting what was her name? That Karaskatai. And that was I think that was a draw. That was like, I think that fight was a draw, but it earned them a contract. I think, hold on now. I want to say it was Carly Giudice. She lost. Carly lost to Ernesta, but she still got signed because, they were impressed. What weight? This fight is at 125. This is a flyweight fight. So Carly Giudice is 3-2. She went to the Contender Series at 3-0. Lost her first fight in the Contender Series. Lost a close fight to Gabriela Fernandez. That was her last fight. That was some good back and forth action in that fight. She was supposed to fight Juju Miller back in February, but Juju had pulled out. Okay. So now she's fighting a newcomer, Dubin. Dubin, man. Dubin, 6-0. All finishes. I'm about to say all knockouts, but no, all finishes. She's got a armbar win. She's knocked a couple of girls out, or 3 or 4. And oh my goodness, y'all remember this fight? Knockout of the year. Knocked out my girl though, man. She knocked out Shannon Clark with a big right hand. I don't know, man. This one here is going to be tough to call. I think action-pack wise, it could be interesting. If they go in there toe to toe. This Dubin though, she looks like she's a little bit more laser though. I think Carly Giudice is more volume. She's heavy-handed, but more volume, kind of gritty. But she can be hit with some hard punches. And Dubin, she knows how to set them up. Dubin, she can set some punches up. Like the way she set up those shots against Clark. I know Clark was running right in, but still, like, I think her main focus is power. So I'm looking at Dubin to try to measure range here and land a counter shot and look to maybe even be first and move until Carly, Gabriela Fernandez, she was lighting Carly up a little bit. She just got a really good chin. She's tough. I give her that. Like, she's durable and she has volume, but this girl Dubin, man, she hits hard. I can tell she hits hard. I mean, I'm not just basing that off the last fight, but she has just about finished every girl she fought. And there's levels to it, but hey, Carly Giudice, she's still on the come up. Carly's still like 3-1, 3-2. So I'm quick on this one. I think I'm gonna go with Dubin. Yeah, I think I'll rock with Dubin on this one. I think Dubin might have the more patience and the technical striking down here, and she might hurt Giudice. If Giudice can't get by the counter shots, or if she can't draw her into a war, then yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I think I'm going with Dubin right now. It's the first fight too. It'll be the first fight of the afternoon. Starts at 4. All right. Sam Hughes taking on, is this Stephanie Luciano? How far down is this on the card? Yeah, this is okay, this is after. They almost got all 3 women's fights back to back. Okay. All right, Sam Hughes, now the veteran now, right? Low-key veteran in the UFC. She's had how many fights in the UFC now? She started back in 2025 now. See, she's had 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, she's a 9-fight veteran now. 9 fights, 5 years. And let's see, 4 and 2. She's 4-5. 4-5. And I believe that some of her decisions were kind of controversial. They could have went her way. I think Sam has been getting sharper over the past few years. I think strength and conditioning wise, she seems to be limbering up more, not as stiff. Looks like she's putting on a little bit more muscle, and her confidence is building up. I know a little while back she was saying that the camp she was with before wasn't really like good for her confidence, however she put it. But now that she's kind of stepped out and she's been training with other people, she's been training. I know she's trained with Macy Chase on and some other people, stepped up her game. Just kind of built her confidence, and you've seen her growth. Like her wrestling looks a lot better too. Her wrestling looks better. I just think one thing I always say about her is she needs to start faster, because I think she has better stand up than some of these unranked girls as far as like how she throws them, how she puts them down straight. Stephanie Luciano, another contender series fighter, 6-1. This girl, she's kind of out there. She likes to move and showcase and showboat a little bit. Oh yeah. She's only only one fight deep in the UFC. She had a draw in the contender series, and she fought the same girl that Talita Alencar beat her. And this will be her like second fight in the UFC. So this fight here, I think Sam having the veteran experience, just having the skills in the more so veteran style. She's fighting a tall, long fighter here. I think it'd be safe for Sam to, actually switch modes and wrestle. Maybe jab her way in and wrestle. Don't really try to stand with somebody that wants to strike. I think Luciano likes to be fancy. She can fight tall. She likes to throw a lot of flying knees, spin kicks and stuff like that and move. After seeing Sam's last fight with Yasmin Rodrigues, how she dealt with somebody with speed, I think it would be wiser for her to go ahead and just jab her way in here, use leg kicks and break this girl down and wrestle her. Wrestle her to death, man, because Sam was a former runner too, so she's got the gas tank. She's definitely got the gas tank for 3 rounds. You hadn't been finished. The only fight she had got finished or she had to stop, it was the Tisha Torres fight. But Sam is pretty durable and it's got the gas tank. So I think experience wise, Sam all the way. I'm gonna have to pick her. BJ said Sam trusts her jab now and her grappling. Yeah. Paul said last fight was Dudakova, who Sam's. Yeah, I think her last fight was Dudakova. It was kind of a close one. Going by the judges, but yeah, that was her last fight. Yeah, she beat Dudakova, but even like the Yasmin fight before that she lost. Look at how she dealt with speed in there. I think that some of these younger girls that like to just throw and move, showcase your wrestling, So I'll go with Sam in this one for me. I think she has more to work with, that is. Robot said going live on Saturday. Probably not. I'll be busy. Maybe I'll go live after when I'll get some time, but I will drop a video or two. And I'm gonna rant if I don't get a knockout between Josiane and Priscilla, which let's talk about this real quick. I ain't got nothing to say. People keep asking me about this. All I got to say, look, I need a knockout. That's all. Do I got to pick? I need a knockout. Will it be a good fight? I need a knockout. What time is this fight? I need a knockout. That's all I'm going to say. Anybody ask me about this fight? I need a knockout. Who should I bet on? I need a knockout. That's all I'm saying. Paul said last night was due to cold. Yeah. Closeman says Sam got heart, but you never know what Sam we're going to get. She's always in the fight. She's always in the fight. I would give her that, so she's got to be confident. She's got to start, she's got to start fast. That's one thing I think about her. So, yeah, I'm going to go with her on that. Yeah, I will. I'll go with her on that. This one, I need a knockout. That's all I got to say. Okay. No, really, though, Priscilla is pretty much what you're going to get. Like, there's Zombie Girl is what you're going to get. And that's all we can do here. That's all we can expect here. That's all we can expect from her is to just come in here and do something to kind of wow the crowd, or even, just put together some, at this point, Priscilla Cachoeira is not going to earn a belt. So she might as well focus on earning those 50,000, focus on getting that finishing check. And I think that's a good level for some fighters. Some fighters, they're not going to be champions, but as long as they can fight to a certain level and they got a specific style that is crowd pleasing and gets the job done on a certain level, if you can stay in there and you can earn your 50,000, for your short night, hey, do it. But sometimes Priscilla got that trouble too, man, because I ain't gonna lie, like Priscilla ain't got like some kind of Mike Tyson resume. She's more entertaining, beating people up or getting beat up, but it ain't like she knocking girls out either. That's why I'm just trying to say, like, she really needs to craft her style into, a serious puncher and not like a blind, uneducated puncher. She needs to come with more technique, at least with her stand-up, like you were saying earlier, BJ, popping that jab off, stick to that jab and then set up the knockout. She gotta be serious with it sometimes. So yeah. Ask Garrett Lewis about them 50,000 checks. Yeah, the 50K checks. That's what it's got to be, man. Leave the dirty stuff at home. Set up these knockouts. Get your Deontay Wilder on. Do something, because you won't miss these days, girl. Like you keep on coming in here half butt, just half style, bringing half of it, winging the knockouts. No, focus on knocking people out. That's all you can do. And that's why I say that with Jocelyn too. Like, I think Jocelyn has more promise, because Jocelyn hasn't been beat up like Priscilla Cachoeira. But I know that Jocelyn Nunes is on a 2-fight losing streak right now, and she's kind of lacking some things. Like, I think she's lacking a couple of things that's going to help her at bantamweight. And I think that she's another one that just kind of needs to craft her style into, a puncher and, somebody with good takedown defense and good cage wrestling, and somebody that doesn't go wild and knows how to set up their knockout. So this is the fight to do that in. I think they both just need to really work on being patient here. When it gets on, when it gets down and dirty on the inside, let's see some hooks. Let's see some inside fight in the pocket, but make it calculated. But when it all comes down to it, somebody better land something big here. I want to knock out. I don't know who in this fight. If I had to pick, I'll let you know tomorrow. But I'll tell you what I do want, and that's a KO. Marcus said we might get a bare knuckle fight between these two. Yeah. Just tell them to take the gloves off right now. Tell them to leave the gloves outside the cage, and tell them just to bare knuckle it. That's it. Let's go ahead and sell this thing as a bare knuckle. I'm gonna do a video tomorrow too, man. I got some time. I want to go through some fighters that I think would be good in bare knuckle boxing. Yeah, I got some time. Let's have some fun, man. Like, I'm gonna go through some fighters that I think should go to bare knuckle boxing. Yeah. Paul said tune in. Yep. No, seriously though, I am picking Sam. I am picking Dubin. Okay, I am picking those two on that. Yeah, leave the gloves out. Let's just go ahead and take them hands up, and we're gonna bare knuckle box this thing out. We just said if this fight goes past 2 rounds, somebody's face is gonna be hanging off. And it better be, man. Like, if it goes past 2 rounds, it better not be like these two just like eyeballing each other. You know what I mean? Like 50 punches need to be landed like at least every round, man. If you ain't going down. All right, so those are my picks though. If you want to know, I'm gonna probably lean more towards Jocelyn in this fight. Okay, that's about where I'm going. Because like I said, I want a knockout, but if I had to pick in this fight, I'm gonna lean towards Jocelyn. Okay. What about y'all? I'm gonna go with Dubin, Hughes, and Nunes. Little Nunes, Nunes Jr., Nunes, not the lioness. Nunes, yeah, Nunes Jr. Yeah, these are my picks right here. What about y'all? Who y'all got? I'm pretty much locked in with these two. This ain't, like a main event that's got me second guessing here. Those are my picks. Yeah, I would love to see. I would love to see Jocelyn Nunes at 125. Can she make that weight? Like, how big does she get? Like, I need to see like some. I need to look on her Instagram, see how big she gets. Okay. All right. What do we got here? What do we got? Nunes has one advantage over Priscilla, and that's keeping her head tucked. Yep, that is it. That's about it. Like, well, and that's a big thing too. That'll really help her, man. That that the way her head is tucked, and yeah, that'll definitely help her. So yeah. All right. Yep. So I'm going with Dubin, Hughes, and Nunes. Let's see. Any updates in the big fight world? All right, Robot said Dubin and Nunes. Gary, what's up? He said Nunes is also more accurate. Okay, so I take that as a Nunes pick. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at Jessica Andrade. She's training right now too on IG. And Jessica Andrade, yeah, she got a little weight on her there. Like she almost looks like a bantamweight kind of. She's in here training with Kiel Rosa right now. So that's what I was just looking at a couple of hours ago. All right, y'all. So as we wind down here, I got a few more minutes before I get off here, about 15 minutes. I got something to do. Sergio said, but if Valentina thought Santos was huge, Manon is a different beast. Yeah, speaking of Manon, I'm just looking at training on both sides here. I still think that Manon Fior has a good chance. That's what people don't understand. Like, I think we all get caught up into sometimes just saying, oh man, like it's gonna go this way. I got caught up into that with Alexa Grasso. I thought that Valentina was, for sure locked in, and I thought that Grasso wouldn't have an answer, but she did. And I think that with Manon Fior and their squad and the type of training that they're doing right now, as far as just covering all their bases, I think Manon Fior, they have they have it in their mind to do something different. I know one of the things I do want to see after looking at Wei Li, how she handled Tatiana Suarez. I was looking at a couple of like clips, and I was looking at like a clip on the inside where Wei Li and Suarez were in a clinch. I like how Wei Li was throwing them elbows on the inside, while she was controlling Suarez. Suarez was trying to go to the body with knees, but I like how Wei Li could create separation off of the cage and still be locked up, and she would land like a left and a right elbow, and I think that's what somebody massive like Manon, her size, needs to do, because once you move in somebody that you bigger and stronger than, you already got one up over them. You moving their feet. So while they move their feet, you land the elbows. You got to land those elbows, left, right, and crack them. Um, I wouldn't really say she's not comfortable wrestling. I think she just likes to strike more. I really wouldn't say that she's not comfortable wrestling just because you don't see a fighter always wrestling, because they do work on wrestling, they do work on grappling, but sometimes fighters, when they do one thing, that's what they want to focus on. So I can't really say she's not comfortable, because I haven't seen her in a fight where she looked like, I'm lost, I mean, when you've seen strikers like of course, Marina, she don't want to be on the ground. She don't want to be there. That's not where she wants to be. But I mean, even in the past, like Grasso, we said the same thing with her. Like Grasso couldn't do it on the ground. Grasso couldn't do it. And still, like Grasso wasn't wrestling. Grasso wasn't wrestling. She stepped it up on her BJJ game, though. It was her BJJ game. She looked for that opening. But wrestling, no. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that the difference between her and Grasso, I think they are covering that more. They are covering that ground more because they know now they got something to go off of too. They got something to go off of. Like Valentina, if Valentina doesn't want a chess match and strike with somebody this size or that might have the power in this fight, she's going to want to take her down. So they got to be prepared for that. So I think they are preparing for everything here. I think they're prepared for a little bit of everything. That's why I think this fight is going to be good. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. I'm going to do a couple more, little watch. Not little watch streams or anything like that, but I might watch it. Watch their fights. Watch those 3 Valentina fights and so on again. With Grasso. I do want to watch that what's her name? Manon and Aaron fight again too, because looking at what she did against Aaron, that's got to be a different fight. Like, that's got to be a different fight. It can't be that type of fight. Like Aaron was outclassed as far as like technique, but Aaron was still landing too in that fight. But Manon was a heck of a lot more durable and knew how to take away the steam off of Blanchfield's shots. So a lot of stuff to look at, man. Closer said the reason I say that is because whenever she takes people down, she lets them up. She doesn't like grappling. In my opinion, I think the takedowns that she does, that when she does a takedown, it's to take a round. That's all it is, or just to kind of frustrate a fighter. Like when she took Myra Buena Silva down or took Jennifer Maya down, it's just to say that, hey, I can do that too. Just to kind of like push your weight around. It's not to turn into like a complete grappler. I think if she had to turn into one, she probably would. But like if you just want to like mess with somebody or like get into their head in the fight, you take them down and then boom, I get back up, Let's see. Manon is so sick of Valentina. I think they both kind of are. I think they both are kind of sick of each other. When I look at them, like they both are kind of like, what? Like, I'm sick of you. You still talking junk? That's how it kind of is with them. But I think Valentina, all around, seen so much, been through so much that it's not going to be the little things here, like where we. How do I put this? Because with Grasso, they just kind of knew what to focus on. They focused on. They really focused on like footwork against Valentina. They knew that Valentina was so used to fighting one way, and girls just trying to take her down or wait and hope for the best, that while they're doing that, Valentina gets into a groove. But it seems like when people start to lead against Valentina, that's where it gets kind of rough for her. And that's what you got to do, man. Take somebody out of their comfort zone. That's what it all comes down to. Take them out of their comfort zone. Alex said, did you see Manon training her cardio in those hills, running on top of those hills? Yeah, she does a lot of running. She's always running. That's what cardio shouldn't be a problem for this fight. I think that they're prepared for a 5-round fight, for whatever it goes for. B just said he's going to make his pick off what they look like on Embedded. Okay. Yeah. Can't wait for that to start. Because this fight is in May? We're about 2 months away, man. And I am going to be ready for it. I am going to be ready for that fight. What else we had? Kayla and Juliana Pena. Shout out to Coach. I was listening to his video about Juliana Pena, and Yeah, it's really tough, man. Like it's really tough to pick Juliana Pena whenever you see some of them wars she's been in and like how she kind of has strayed away from wrestling. Like Pena does strike a lot, man. That's something I might talk about in the video too. Like Pena has kind of turned it. I mean, she does have heavy hands, but I'd like to see Pena kind of go back to her ground roots too, man, of wrestling more. Like I'd like to see Pena like, you know, use her striking to like just bust up girl, then take them down and just go back to like some grappling type of style. She spends a lot of rounds on her feet, man. Yeah, fighters don't like to be thrown out of their rhythm. Like that's what it is. Like it makes you mad. Like the fighter, you can see a champion gets mad because they're like, why is this person trying this? Like it's almost like they're saying this person should know better. Like don't do this to me. Like I'm the champion. You're not supposed to be doing this, and that's what takes them out of their game. Easy say I would pick Pena for real, but I just think Kayla's too big. If Kayla makes weight in a very safe fashion and it doesn't really like reflect her on the scales, like if she doesn't look bad and I don't hear any reports of her like going to the ER or anything like that, then I definitely will give Kayla a high chance in this one. Yeah, this ain't one. Excuse, this ain't one you want to wrestle with, Kayla. No, but I'm just saying, like some of her past few fights, she's wrestled. She hadn't really wrestled a lot, and it just kind of seems to like put a lot of damage on her. You know what I mean? I guess you got to find the balance, though, man. Like because taking too many punches is bad. Wrestling is too much bad. It can be bad for your knees. Well, there's got to be a balance where you ain't like going in there getting wrecked. You know what I mean? Hmm. But anyways, good talk, good show. Like I said, just wanted to jump on, and it's been about a week. Yeah, I was like, dang, been a week since I did a show. Like I said, I was about to get on earlier this week, but when I was going to get on, I saw BJ doing his thing, doing his live, and time caught up. Another day passed. I'm busy. I'm busy. I'm busy, and I'm just out here doing stuff. So yeah, but good to be back on live. Like I said, I might B say he'll be on live tomorrow. Okay, yeah, because I might get on just for the fights at 7. It depends because I don't get back till 8. I got stuff to do. And yeah, I don't know. It depends. It really does depend. But other than that, like I said, I always get on, I love to just hear opinions on fighters and keep it strictly fight over here, keep it strictly fight. And this is how it's going to be from here on. Like we gonna always talk about a fight game. You can have your opinion on your fighter, and that's all it's going to be. It ain't gonna be anything outside that. We joking about other things and stuff like that every now and then, but we ain't going out the box calling people names and stuff like that, man. Well, I'm not. I don't do that. Especially for I'm not related to any fighter. So it ain't like you're talking about family like that, but we just on here talking, and I got the unified rules coming up over here. We just say he gonna set ground rules too. Yeah, I got the 99 rules coming up. The 99 unified rules. Like the unified rules of boxing. And if it weeds people out, so be it. If it weeds people out, so be it. That's all I gotta say. If it weeds people out, it just shows you who ride with you from day one, because I ain't never changed. I ain't gonna change. I ain't going anywhere. And like I said, I like the fight game. That's why I like first. So if I did, if you don't like my opinion about your fighter, and that makes you leave, okay, that's good. That's good, But if you stick around, you might learn something, right? If you stick around, you might learn something. But if you choose to leave because I don't like your fighter, and you like to, call me a name for that, hey, be that. Hey, you can have it. But like I said, it's an everyday thing over here how I do it, and I ain't going nowhere. Hey, Easy said kick rocks. No, let me get one of them rocks so I can peg you in the head with it. Not you, but you know what I mean. I'm gonna kick that rock right in your head. But that's how I see it, man. That's how I see it. Like, yeah, I'm focused on what I do. So, I'm always focused on how I do things. And yeah, my opinion. BJ come over here, he got his opinion. BJ can say his opinion because I'm not telling him what to say. Anybody would want to take a link, say what you want to say. I give you the floor, BJ. You address some Macy Barber haters, and I know the people you addressing were in my chat. That's cool. It's all right. I'm just chilling, letting you get your opinion. Like, I don't agree with it, but hey, I don't agree with everybody. Look, I don't agree with everybody I like. That don't mean I dislike the person. So yeah. Axel said people are underestimating but knowing I'm looking forward to May 10th. I am too, man. Like, people made that mistake with Grass. So I'm just saying, like, I know styles make fights, but I think that Manone's gonna make this interesting. I think we're gonna have a good fight. And give me an early birthday gift that month. Yeah, because my birthday's in May, so my birthday's kicking off early. Oh yeah, for sure. BJ said he respect that. Yeah. Oh yeah, of course. Like I said, anything I say over here, anything I say behind the scenes to you, hey, it doesn't change. It don't change. Everybody got their opinion on how they feel about fighters. So, say what you want. Easy said the thing that makes us different is we may not like certain fighters, but we respect all fighters. Right. And if you've been hit in the face before, you already know how it feels. Now, Easy, I know we talk. You know what I'm saying? So we talk about that stuff. So we've been here, and we know what these fighters go through. Not a professional, but I'm just saying, like, as far as just voicing our opinions on where we think their mind state is, where we know their mind state probably is. That's just how it go. It's just how it go, man. I know this. All I know is this Grasso Silva fight is going to answer a lot of questions. When Aaron and Macy lock up, it's going to answer some questions. My early look, yeah, it does go towards Aaron, but I just think that Aaron and Macy, their style matches up more. So it matches so much more. It matches well to where it could be even. Where I believe, if Natalia Silva and Macy fought, that's not a good fight for Natalia. That's not a good fight for Macy Barber. Like, personally, I would watch it. Yeah, I like it, but my real fights would like to be the ones that just kind of make for entertainment, but still answer some questions. And plus, Aaron and Macy got beef too, man. Like that's what makes their thing so much more interesting, And Aaron got a lot to go on too. Whenever she talks some trash to Macy, like Aaron got a lot to say. I know to that lead up, so they need to sign that fight right now. Right now. Easy said Grass will be on her game unless she wants to wake up, staring up the lights. Yeah, she better watch some head kicks. I hope her leg is 100, man. I hope her leg is 100. He said Macy Clopper. Macy might get danced. Macy might get danced around. I don't know. But anyways, y'all, good chat. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. And just tune in like always. And we gonna be me and BJ be back on next Tuesday. Jump back on here and talk about these fights coming up this weekend. But yeah, that's all I got. So I am getting up out of here for the night. And yeah, I'll say that to wrap this thing up. Make Aaron versus Macy a 5-round fight. Yeah, make that thing a 5-round fight. Gotta respect Barber's power. Yeah, you gotta respect that power, man. Yeah, like I think Natalia Silva beats Mark Macy, but for Aaron got to respect that power. Macy might end up looking like Angela Lee trying to fight Silva. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's the thing too. Like the way they match up, got to see it. You got to see it, man. All right, y'all. Catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace.